Welcome to the Asian Windsurfing Tour, which this week comes from the Philippines as the idyllic setting of Boracay hosts round 3 of this prestigious 5-stop series. Just one of the 7,000 islands to make up the Philippines, Boracay has been hosting a windsurfing event for some 17 years. And this year, the Enervon Boracay International Funboard Cup, presented by the Philippines Tourism Authority, will play host to 67 sailors from around the world and will, for the first time in its long history, also stage a kiteboard event. For the sailors of the AWT, the journey here started back at the previous event in Malaysia, with a flight across the Sula Sea to arrive in the Philippines, before the idyllic boat ride across to the white sands of Boracay. In many travel guides from around the world, the arrival by boat to Boracay is listed as one of life's must-have experiences, and it's easy to see why, touching down on one of the planet's most idyllic beaches. And from there, it's just a short hop across the island to the event site and our hosts for the week, the Green Yard Funboard Centre.
The Boracay Cup has been running for the last 17 years, and for the first time in 17 years, we adopted the kiteboarding event in the AWT. Seems like this place is very ideal for kiteboarding, especially for learning. It's just one of the best places on the planet to learn this sport.
But it's not just about kiteboarding here in Boracay. With 67 slalom-hungry windsurfers descending on the race site here at Bullerbog Beach, competition will be fierce out in some of the best sailing conditions on the planet.
What we're going to see here in Boracay is flat water, all-out speed racing. Especially when it starts blowing over 20 knots, you'll see back-to-back action. It never gets boring.
With its onshore winds and perfectly flat lagoon, Boracay provides an exciting arena for downwind slalom and has an excellent reputation throughout Asia. So far on the tour, we've had good racing in Malaysia and then in Indonesia, but this location here at Boracay really looks good for slalom racing. You can see the lagoon here. It's very shallow, so it's really flat, and there's a good breeze, so it should be a great event. As well as the tour regulars turning up to race here in Boracay, there's a host of local hotshots gunning for glory on their home waters. There's also the Boracay regulars like the boys from Guam who never miss the event. And in addition, this year's event has attracted Neil Pride team rider Gonzalo Costa-Hervel from Argentina.
For slalom, it's a really nice place. If the wind picks up a little, we have like a reef, and then we have a flat section, so we are racing a really flat part, and I think that everybody can go fully power, so we will see some good speed.
With the winds kicking in early on day one here in Boracay, the event was quickly underway, with a brief skippers meeting to explain the course before the sailors hit the water. The onshore winds provide an excellent competition arena here. Race director Klaus Michel setting a classic 3-jibe downwind slalom course in textbook Boracay conditions.
Well, we got here this morning and surprise, surprise, weather forecast is right. It's blowing 20 knots, 25 knots in the gusts. Yeah, we're going to have some full-on slalom action. Going to get a couple of results in, and we're all happy.
With 67 sailors out on the water, 3 preliminary heats would filter down the fleet to a final heat of 24 racers. And with the winds holding at a steady 15 knots out on the start line, the early round saw plenty of action. Ranked at number 6 in the world, Gonzalo Costa-Hervel was firmly in control of the opening rounds, making it 2 wins from 2 as the heats progressed. But fellow World Tour slalom pro Dan Ellis was having a tougher time of it. Winner of the first 2 legs of the Asian Windsurfing Tour, Ellis took 2 third places in the opening rounds, losing out to a rising slalom star, Keiji Kobayashi from Guam. Keiji's a regular charger at this event in Boracay, and after a full season of training back home, was looking very good out in the lighter winds. The local slalom scene here in the Philippines is thriving, and competition out on the water between the local sailors is fierce. German Paz was leading the way with 2 excellent opening results, while hot on his heels, Gaylord Kavita and Manny Kabili were a constant threat. And in the women's event, world number 2 Lucy Horwood from the UK was leading the charge. Racing in the same heats as the men, Lucy had a good first day, while hot on her heels, local organiser Nanette Graf was hungry for just 1 win over the full-time pro. As the winds continued to blow, the action was non-stop. British slalom champ Dan Ellis finally managed to bag a win, and after 4 full rounds of racing, that put him up into second place. Keiji Kobayashi slipped down into third, but sitting on top of the pile, it's AWT newcomer Gonzalo Costa-Hervel.
The conditions today are great. I'm doing the heat. I'm like, wow, this place is amazing. It's like everybody has a great attitude, you know, just have fun and go as fast as you can. It's great.
And with racing over for the day, the party moves the short distance across the island to the White Beach, where the evening relaxation takes many forms. For visiting British sailors Dan Ellis and Lucy Horwood, a quiet sunset cruise aboard the local Paral or sailing canoe seemed like the ideal way to unwind. Although with Dan at the helm, the ride was far from relaxing. With the sun set, this side of the island really comes to life. There's a whole host of bars and restaurants, and for the boys from Team Guam, it's one of the main reasons that they keep returning here to Boracay. And with fresh seafood aplenty and a good meal inside, it's time to hit the town.
Racing, though we all love windsurfing, it's pretty far down the list of the things that, you know, reasons we come here. There's just so much this island has to offer. The nightlife, for one, the food is great. Well, the cool places have pretty much been the same as they have been every year that we've been coming. That's a summer place, Cafe Del Mar. We also like Boom Booms. We head over to Cucamonga's when we want to spice things up a little. Those are probably the top 4 that I'd say we enjoy frequenting the most.
So with Summer Place laying on a fashion show for our friends from Guam, we leave Boracay now and head off for a break.